Buffy the Vampire Slayer survived for 7 years on TV is a testament to its uniqueness.
Into every generation, a Slayer is born. One girl in all the world. She alone will have the strength and skill to... There's that word again. What you are, how you'll die. Alone.
It's a very profound show that on the surface, you know, is playful and sort of flip in many ways.
They got the mustard. They got the mustard.
It's not just us.
It changed the way we see and do genre shows, which is, you know, how Joss Whedon always referred to Buffy as a genre show.
Any show with the words Buffy, Vampire, and Slayer in the title is doomed to be ridiculed by the industry.
What is going on?
Mom, I'm a vampire slayer.
What surprised me was the genius of the central concept that, you know, particularly in the beginning, that we are all beset by monsters all around us, and that we see our problems as monstrous and the people who are doing it to us as monsters.
I had this whole section on civic pride, but I guess we'll just skip to the big finish.
There's some very serious themes that go on through the different shows, and some of them have been astonishing, you know, in the kind of depth they've brought to the screen that you wouldn't necessarily see in a more realistic kind of setting.
We got her. My God, we got her.
Let's get her on the truck now. Call it in ahead.
I've never brought one back this little.
I'm here.
It's a miracle. That's what it is, a beautiful miracle.
Good as new.
Oh, Buffy, thank God you found me in time.
Once you started watching it, you realized that there was actually an incredible artistic vision behind this show, an incredible writer who had something to say about television and about youth, about what it was like to be not just a teenager, but human in ways that we hadn't seen before.
There is one thing you could do to stop it.
What? Anything.
And you could see her. You wouldn't have to talk through me.
Tara.
That's what you want, isn't it?
Of course.
So go. Be with her. Everybody will be safe and you'll be together again.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is, you know, a form of TV literature. It's something that can be studied and can be fruitfully analyzed the way that any good allegory can be done. It's a feminist allegory.
You need someone to lead you.
It's automatically you. You really do think you're better than we are.
No,
But we don't know. We don't know if you're actually better. I mean, you came into the world with certain advantages, sure. I mean, that's the legacy. But you didn't earn it. You didn't work for it. You've never had anybody come up to you and say that you deserve these things more than anyone else. They were just handed to you. So that doesn't make you better than us. It makes you luckier than us.
It speaks in many ways to what it is to be a contemporary woman, not just a young, impressionable girl who wants to look hot, but also to women who hold major responsibility and have had to sort of live their lives through being a superwoman.
I cut myself off from them. All of them. I knew I was gonna lose some of them, and I didn't... You know what? I'm still making excuses. I've always cut myself off. I've always... Being the Slayer made me different. But it's my fault I stayed that way.
I think it's very fair to men, and not only fair to men, it's loving of men. There is much of a variety of men on that show. That's the other thing. There's tremendous diversity.
I've been through more battles with Buffy than you all can ever imagine. She stopped everything that's ever come up against her. She's laid down her life literally to protect the people around her. This girl has died 2 times and she's still standing. You're scared, that's smart. You got questions, you should. But you doubt her motives, you think Buffy's all about the kill, then you take the little bus to battle. I've seen her heart, and this time not literally. And I'm telling you right now, she cares more about your lives than you will ever know. You gotta trust her. She's earned it.
In their strength and in their vulnerability. And I think it actually gives, you know, an extraordinary portrait, I mean, a place for men who can inhabit those people, as well as affording women, you know, some kinds of places of identification. So I do think it's a show that men can very much appreciate.
Hey!
Never much for preachers.
Angel,
You look good.
you look timely. And not so good.
Heard maybe you needed a hand. It's one of those things you have to finish yourself.
Really kind of is.
Over the years, the show did get richer and deeper, and you dealt with, you know, such bigger issues. At first, it was all about rites of passage through high school, and it was very, you know, clever and sort of kicky to watch these kids sort of grow up together.
There has always an artistic purpose to Buffy. An episode like Hush, which is not just written to scare you, though it is very scary. It's an episode about communication, about our failure to communicate. There's hardly ever been a show on television that treated, you know, violence and pain more realistically, that showed the consequences of that happening and that forced people to take responsibility for doing it.
She's really dead. And I killed her.
Willow, no.
Oh, please, baby. I'm so sorry. Come back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Come back.
Willow, I don't think you did anything wrong. This is just magic. And I think I'm figuring the whole magic thing out. It's just like fairy tales.
What are you doing?
Bringing you back to life.
This season, the wonderful episode where Andrew is videotaping them, and it takes this very dark, serious turn where she tells him, you have to stop looking at life and participate in life, and you have to stop talking about what you did as if someone else did it, as if it happened to you.
I don't even think I'm gonna live through it. That's probably the way it should be.
As they moved on and experienced true loss, and there were elements of real sacrifice here. I mean, Buffy died a couple of times. This idea that the one time on her tombstone she saved the world a lot. I mean, that's just a wonderful expression of who she was and how we responded to this wonderful heroine on television.
It seems to me much more about not only the longing for, the achievement of community in amongst a disparate group of people, including some misfits or social deviants who become a group and a family. That's where its power is, and also where some of the larger ethical issues emerge, and where, in fact, it fulfills, it seems to me, a cultural need.
There was this other apocalypse this one time, and, oh, I took off. But this time, I don't know.
Well, what's different?
I don't know. I guess I was kind of new to being around humans before. But now I've seen a lot more, gotten to know people, seen what they're capable of, and yet here's the thing. When it's something that really matters, they fight. I mean, they're lame morons for fighting, but they do. They never quit. So I guess I will keep fighting too.
Joss Whedon executed a vision in a way that I don't think we may have seen since the glory days of Rod Serling in The Twilight Zone.
Yet her smell, it doth linger, painting pictures in my mind. Her eyes, balls of honey. Angels' hearts her laugh. O lark, grant a sign, if crooked be Cupid's shaft.
Buffy set a template for some of these other major shows to come. I think that Alias, even 24 to a certain extent, owes a big debt to the fact that Buffy the Vampire Slayer could tell its story out over a broad canvas, ask a lot of the viewer to enter this world and stay in this world.
This girl's bleeding badly. We have to get her to the hospital.
Yep. Guess I'm back in Sunnydale.
Shows like Buffy are why I do the job. Shows like Buffy are what keep you going. You know, discovering a show like this, championing a show like this, becoming enthused over television.
You still don't get it. Not about right. Not about wrong.
It's about power.
But for us who like to relive our childhood through television, which happens, so rarely that we can experience that sense of wonder.
Do you want to make out with me?
What?
Forget it. I'm sorry. Well, do you?
The show is constantly reinventing itself, I think, and really looking at what its possibilities were. And I think that's why scholars like it too. It's not one note.
What if you could have that power? Now. In every generation, one Slayer is born. Because a bunch of men who died thousands of years ago made up that rule. They were powerful men. This woman is more powerful than all of them combined. So I say we change the rule.
We left Buffy the Vampire Slayer feeling very satisfied, but also wanting more, which is also the hallmark of a great TV series. If you're left wanting more, you know you've done your job well.
Slayers. Every one of us. Make your choice. Are you ready to be strong?
It said a lot of things about the culture and stands as a mark of its time.
And we'll look back and think that those were 7 of the best years ever seen on television.